Greetings, personal governors. I'm JP.WATKINS. And today's topic is, you can't put out fires with gasoline. I get it. We're human beings. Sometimes our tempers run hot. Sometimes things happen. But how often do we make things worse? The boss didn't give you a raise. The boss didn't give you credit. And now you want to go in there and act a fool. You want to go over there and jumble some furniture. You want to go in there and slam stuff down and raise your voice and get loud and act a fool. Sure made you feel good after it, didn't it? Until they called you in the office and say, hey, we appreciate what you've contributed to this organization. But as of 4 o'clock today, this will be your last day. And now, by you trying to put out that fire with gasoline, it's gonna ignite it. Because now if you already was struggling because you wasn't making enough, you wasn't being paid enough, now you're being paid nothing because you're being laid off. Same, this spills over into relationships. Same thing, somebody didn't call you, they didn't text you back or whatever. Rather than finding out what the situation is, maybe the phone died, maybe he's sick. Maybe he in the hospital, can't call you back, done had a major stroke, and you done text him. Well fine then, enjoy her, enjoy that bee and blah, blah, blah. You done said and you done text all kind of crazy stuff. And now he's fighting for his life. Now I'm not saying that it's different from every situation. I'm just throwing out some scenarios sometimes. Because what I'm saying is, find out first. Now if if he done been unfaithful before, that's a whole different situation. But if he's always doing what he's supposed to do, he usually comes straight home from work. Don't just assume the worst thing. Don't just assume that he done stopped at the strip club. So a lot of times, we get this catastrophic thinking, and the first thing we do is going for, oh, they being unfaithful. Oh, you trying to play me. A lot of times men, we think from our heads. A lot of times we quick to think, oh, you trying to disrespect me. No. This is where you got to take the time. This is where the power of a conversation. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm worried about you. I haven't heard from you, blah, blah, blah. And now, if something is going on, or blah, 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 oh, I'm just hanging out with the fellas having a drink. Okay, now you know that he's okay. You know he ain't had no stroke, right? So now, but you wait and you get home when it's the proper time to have a conversation. Because you cannot put out fires with gasoline. And if you don't tame your tongue, actually, that's a lot of times what happens. When we get all foul and we don't control, we don't govern our mouths, and we just let anything come out any kind of way. And a lot of times, what do people say? What's the first thing we say? Oh, I can't help it. I got to speak my mind. That's fine. You got to deal with those consequences that came from you recklessly speaking your mind. That's fine. You can say whatever you want to say. You can say it however you want to say it. But just know that you're going to live with the consequences. So just know if you cuss your boss out, it's a good chance you'll get fired for insubordination. There's a good chance if you cuss your chick out and act a fool and you keep mistreating her, she's going to leave you. There's a good chance that if you don't govern your mood, you don't govern your mouth, you don't govern your actions, you're going to have negative consequences. So you want to manage that fire. How do you suffocate that fire? Like a lot of times when somebody light a candle, a lot of the candles have lids. So you don't douche no gasoline or fire. The fire gonna go everywhere. What do? You cover it, silently put over there, and that's gonna drown it out. That's gonna take all the oxygen out. It ain't gonna feed the fire. So a lot of times, being level-headed, that's that lid. That's what's going to put the fire out. Yeah, it's a spark, but you don't have to let that spark explode into something bigger. You got to be willing to use your head. And I get it, sometimes you're going to be in emotion. Depending on the situation, certain situations are highly emotional situations. But even then, as we get older, we learn how to manage ourselves better. If you still got the same fuse that you had 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that's not good. That means that you're not growing. That means that you're not learning from your mistakes. That means that you are repeating them and revisiting those mistakes. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to keep doing the same things until you learn to change things. Yeah, I let that pause. You're going to keep doing the same things until you learn to change things. And the key things I'm talking about here is your mood and your mouth and your actions and your attitude. You govern those things. Those are the things that you can control. You can't control if somebody come at you reckless or come at you crazy, but you can manage how you handle them. So if your boss come and he throw the folder at you, whatever, yeah, you can get up and throw the folder back at you. You can get up and smack you in the face with the folder if you want to. But now, did that make your situation better? Now you get to accusing people and get to cussing them out and telling them off and whatever. Is that going to improve your life? Is that going to improve the situation? You get to saying things that's hurtful and harmful, get to talking about them. Hey, you this and that, but your breath stank anyway, blah, blah, blah. You ain't that good in bed anyway, blah, blah, blah. And then you do all this on social media. You say things that you can't take back. And now that you sorry, now you want to apologize. Now you feel sorry. And now you wonder why the other person they done with you. Because you done been too messy. And you don't know how to manage your mouth. So now you done took a fire and you done used gasoline to try to put it out. And you wondering why that fire done spread it everywhere and engulfed everything. Well, let's think about it. So, that's my time for today. I hope you've enjoyed this message. If you know somebody else that can benefit from it, please share it on your social media platforms. Share it on your Instagram. Share it on any medium that you can. LinkedIn, so on and so forth. That's my time for the day. In the meantime, persist, believe, and achieve.